Hi, Aquarius. I finally got a moment to meditate on your sign, and I shuffled through the deck to clean it, put your energy on it. And it took me back to the other day watching, I think it was yesterday actually, watching Angelic Starseed Medium. She's got her own channel. She's like 100 subscribers like me, like somewhere around there. And she really brought some things out. And so if anybody needs any help with that, she was great for me, and everybody that was commenting in the live chat was, you know, loving it. So anyway, just wanted to give her channel a shout out. She's really great. And when I was shuffling, the Death card in the Six of Swords fell out. The Sun in Aries and the Moon in Cancer, that made like a lot of sense to me with their energy coming out together. Like I feel like something happened where, you know, well, like we're aware of our emotions on the why and not the how. Because the how will happen if the why is big enough. I think there's been some kind of awareness there. I don't know. I wrote that down, and then I wrote, looking at all of our blessings with the relationships we've been through in the past and how they've helped us see where we've been, you know, detached, how this does affect us. Like this seeing all feeling with Mercury in Pisces, and finding love in it with Venus also in Pisces. Loving all that is, at its depths, at its thoroughness. But Jupiter just went retrograde, showing these gifts to Aquarius. Also seeing the blessings in being unique. For example, I think it's like, what is your relationship issues is the question. With these two full moons in Libra back to back. This is an opportunity to take a look, is what I got. And for the other signs, I noticed I was like wanting to play music and get all like pepped up and get all, you know, hyped up, and it wasn't with you. It was just like I wanted to connect. So I was like, I want to astral travel. I want to attach to the detached. And it, you know, not saying that every Aquarius is detached, but depending on where it is in your chart, it can be a part of it. But the Death card, Judgment, and Six of Swords came out. Judgment came out after it. I wrote that down too while meditating. So we have some things bouncing around in the 8th house right now, so that makes sense. Six of Swords. I mean, you can't plan and make this shit up. How I connect. And that, what's her name? Angelic Starseed Medium. She was like, yeah, you don't have to question your abilities. And I'm Aquarius rising. Like it's moving on with, you know, Aquarius moving on with better things coming, better feelings as a result of this awareness. Like my deck just chopped. I don't know if the camera just froze, but I look up at 3:33, right on the dot, right before it changed. Okay. The Emperor. Sun in Aries. Yeah, it makes sense. 8 of Cups. Leaving some things maybe that were kind of topsy-turvy. You know, feeling like it's going to fall, leaving it behind. With 9 of Swords. I think we've been in that 9 of Swords energy for a while now. But the monkey's not on the back. It's just in the distance. Just, you know, that's what the card depicts. And I always point the camera down and show the cards and go back more into detail. Ace of Cups reversed. Two of Cups. Yeah, that detachment. I feel like, you know, that upside down emotion kind of turned up, and the union of the Two of Cups kind of came together, and, you know, it's for Aquarius. It's come together. Come together. And then I'm going to take these two. This one fell out first. 7 of Wands. and the Knight of Pentacles. New offerings. It's very beautiful though. Not new offerings, but more of a beginning. You know, bottom of the deck, 8 of coins. Yeah, we're just building new. So please hit that like button and the subscribe button, and you can hit that notification bell, and you'll know every time I upload. I have a Facebook account and Instagram, Hazel's House. You'll find me on there. So I'm going to point the camera down and go more in depth with your spread. I'll be right back. I'm back, Aquarius. And before I get started with this 9 of Swords that fell out, maybe that's why I put the little peacock feather next to it. But something fell out while I was studying of my notebook that I had written, and it's just amazing how it matches the 9 of Swords. I wrote, and I'll get to, you know, the 6 of Swords and go through the whole spread, but I wanted to point this out because it just happened right before I unpaused it. But I was writing down things that, like bad thoughts that I tell myself, you know, that I think, and, you know, thoughts become real, you know, in our surrounding environment. So I wrote down, you are reckless, full of fear, detached, angry, irritated, that is addicted to things that add to these emotions, she says back. And it was like I was talking to my inner self, you know, relating with the conscious and the subconscious. I responded, maybe I just need to be alone. I just can't run anymore. And I wrote down something like, this is why I constantly seek, and I have been in prison for a lifetime. And I don't know why that fell out, but I felt like, I mean, as soon as it fell out, I looked right at that 9 of Swords. And I wrote that battle with the conscious and the subconscious down about Cancer. So if you have Cancer in your chart, you might want to go back and look at that Cancer video I uploaded just a couple, like 2 days ago. I don't know, I don't go with time very well. But let's get back to the 6 of Swords, which fell out first. The weight you've been carrying is getting lighter, and you have plenty of strength standing up, showing it. And the new moon from Aries energy, all this water that's around is this Pisces energy that you're utilizing with Mercury and Venus together. Because the 3 of Cups, you're pledging celebration with these people that you've taken with you. Even ones you might have detached from in the recent past, you know, they're kind of back. And, you know, or you went back into their lives. Or they returned to yours, I mean, after a break. Like healing with them, with these 3 of Cups. Like celebration. Pledging of sort. You are the Emperor, which fell out next. Seated on a throne with these 2 ram heads. 2 ram heads and the 2 of Cups being underneath. Just the 2s together. You've become your full self, reaching your highest vibration. It's gonna, and that 2 of Cups coming on underneath of it shows that more capability of union. But we'll get to that, and I know I'm jumping around, but it was a lot when I got to that 9 of Swords, even before that little, you know, written previous writing fell out that I had done. So the 8 of Cups comes out after the Emperor. I believe you went deep with this true note in Cancer and the moon right now in Cancer, seeing what you've seeing like the destructive behavior you need to leave like behind, maybe like, because the emotions that you're feeling, they're destructive, like topsy-turvy, like the top cup is not on balance. Like, and I look at that as the chakras and the number 8, like death and rebirth. Seeing both sides, which this whole reading just totally embodies both sides, both worlds that Aquarius naturally goes in. But I'll get to that also. But you're going to leave that behind. Aquarius have been in deep sorrow for a while now. And other readers will say it too, like especially Aquarius rising, because of the severe detachment. It's like the loss of love in the surrounding environment, whether it's worldly things or contradicting thoughts. It took us to our knees, like desolation, feeling so much disappointment and despair. Because the Seven of Wands, whatever this feeling of being like attacked, has changed into the advantage, or it's going to, or you're seeing where you have the advantage over these, this monkey waiting to jump on your back. Like this red wand shows me that you're keeping them away. So, being able to turn bad things to good, hold that red wand using the yellow wands, whatever these signify for you, could be people, places, things, events, anything. But you can use those to further the intellectual side of yourself so you can be better at union with the Two of Cups falling out next. Having better relationships now that despair is lifted, or it's going to. From the Nine of Swords, becoming more of a revolution with the Ace of Cups in reverse. It's like a mutation of emotions and thoughts of a previous battle. Because of that 8. I just feel like it's like past life stuff. Or even the past, just recent, or the past, 7 years. That's probably a lot to do with Uranus. So, it's like you've removed the host of false-heartedness with this Ace of Cups. Because the slow-moving energy of Uranus gives you the interest of the normal, so to speak, worldly, feelings, environment, and it's like it. But you also have the external plane where you you do that anywhere. You effortlessly gravitate naturally, utilizing what you've gained. So you can look deeper on how to be responsible for both worlds that you travel between with the 8 of Pentacles. Being skilled with the divine, they shared with you now because you've shared with them. Now they're sharing with you. Like this, the divine, the higher knowledge, higher plane. You go back and forth. And now you're sharing equally with these 2 full moons in Libra. Like you're seeing your union with that. Or this could be a person, maybe an Aries. But it is Aries season. I see very individual here. And, it's almost like the 10 of Cups fell out a couple times too earlier when I was thinking about you this morning. So, you could have that right now. Anyway, I'm going off track, which is just back and forth between different planes. Like I'm doing it as I'm reading this for you. Because the 3 of Swords were coming out right underneath, and I peeked. I couldn't help myself. That's total Uranus. Like, you've weathered the storms. You've had the heartbreak. Because the Star card came out right underneath of it. And it's 17 in this deck, which equals 8. You've went through this death and rebirth. Like, you're over it. You're done. You sit up on your throne being the Emperor. And it is an absolutely beautiful read, Aquarius. Thank you so much for your energy. And this is, like, that Knight of Coins is where it's at for you. If you haven't already gone there, this could resonate. It's not time. It doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter. Our contradicting thoughts do matter. They can become our reality if we don't get them in check. And we'll turn that Ace of Cups back up, if we get to this point, if we desire and seek. So please feel free to comment below and just let me know anything that you would like to share. It doesn't even matter, whatever you feel. Just be nice, be kind, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much, Aquarius.